Hey, it's Christy, back with another update from Inside the Convent. Thank you for everyone who watched ITC Answers last week and prayed for myself and the other postulants. We had a really good time. We were in Grass Lake, Michigan. We worked at the school with the second graders with Sister Brenda, and it was so much fun. We did fun little projects for the kids, and on Saturday we helped to lead a retreat at the Pious Union of St. Joseph. It was great. We had about 25 girls in attendance, and the postulants, actually myself and the other ladies, got to start off the morning giving a whole presentation on the life of St. Louis Quinella. And it was a lot of fun. The girls really enjoyed it, and we made mud pie at the end, and they were crushing the Oreos, and it was such a good time. So thank you again for all your prayers in that. One of the other great blessings that I had over this weekend was beginning a new meditation on the love of Jesus. We have each morning in our morning prayer about a half hour of just quiet meditation, and I always bring my journal with me, and I just began to write what I was thinking, what I was feeling, and it really flowed out of me, this examination of Christ's love. And it's kind of long, which is fitting because Christ's love is unending, it is innumerous, it is uncountable, it is infinite. You know, His love is just flowing out. And when we seek to love fully and totally our neighbors and all those around us, we participate in that image of Christ that we've been made in. And it's just such a beautiful meditation, and I think it's appropriate coming into Easter, coming into Good Friday. You know, that is the ultimate show of love, the ultimate sacrifice of love is Christ poured out on the cross. And He did it for me. And He did it for you. And I mean, how crazy to really think about that, to really think about Christ being willing to go through all of that agony, that humiliation. I find it so easy to forget His humanity. You know, in the crucifixion, I always feel like, well, of course He died for us. You know, He's God. He loves us. Why wouldn't He die for us? Where's the question? You know, this was His destiny. This was His will. You know, He willed it with the Father because He is one with the Father. So Jesus knew what was coming, and He wanted it. And that's true. There's this whole other side where Jesus is fully human. And think about how afraid He must have been. How terrified. He sweat blood because of His fear, His anxiety, because in His divinity He knew how dishonored He would be despite His sacrifice. He saw it all. Every terrible thing that is happening in our world today, Jesus saw. He cried to His Father and said, "Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. But Your will be done." How often do we really say that? You know, in His divinity, Jesus could have easily come down from the cross. And I don't doubt for a second that there were so many moments where that thought ran through His head, where He thought, I could get out of this. I could come off of this. I don't have to do this. And He did it anyway. So that love and that devotion has been my meditation for the past week, and I've been reading a lot of different mystical encounters of Christ's love and knowledge and our spousal love with Christ, and it's just been so fulfilling and so peaceful to dwell on His love for us. And so I invite you to do that this week, to just take a little bit of time each day, even if all it is saying, Jesus, I know You love me, and I love You, Lord. Help me to love You more. Even if that's where you start, if it's just so simple as those words, say it and remember His love for you. So for our bonus today, I'm going to share my Litany of Love, and I feel like it's appropriately named a litany. It's like 5 pages in my journal. So here we go. He loves us all, Litany of Love. He loves me, He loves us all. even those who often lose step and fall. He loved us then when the world began. He loves us now through our days of doubt. He loves us tomorrow through joys and sorrow, when we are hurt and lash out, when we forget His name, when we turn away our neighbor. He loves us just the same. When our prayers are full of distraction, when we've made an idol of the latest attraction, He loves us. He loves us all. He loves me. He loves you. He loves the person I struggle with. He loves the person I forget. He loves the person who's mean to me. He loves the people I'll never see. He loves us. He loves us all. His love is wider and more deep than any expanse, than any sea. His love is higher and more scattered than the mountains or seeds we sow. His love is like the dew, permeating, penetrating, heavy and light, free-floating and sticking to every aspect of the world, including you and me. He loves us. He loves us all. He wants us. He wants us all. He wants us to draw near to Him when in troubled times we fall. He wants us to come into Him, know His darkness, hear His call. He calls us. He calls us all. To love as He loves. To love me. To love you. To love the person I struggle with. To love the person I forget. To love the person who's mean to me. To love the people I'll never see. To love everyone with a pure, true, deep, and godly love. Passionate, setting our hearts and the world on fire. To love our brothers and sisters and enemies to heaven. We are responsible for each other. For every man is your brother, every woman your sister. Don't let your soul be disturbed to the point of unloving. Take up the cross of love. There is sweetness in its weight, as it splinters into your skin, making you more and more like Him, who when He fell got up again, because He loves us. He loves us all. So that under our weight He was willing to fall, and still on the cross He called to His Father, "Forgive them." Nail-pierced, blood-drenched and bruised, He chose death for love of you and me. See past appearance, because His was handsome and mangled. See past possession, a king in heaven, He came in poverty, and what little He had was stripped of Him. See past religion, for He came to free not just the Jews, but lovingly welcomed the Gentiles too. See past the color of skin, for His was beaten so badly it was all of them. See what He saw on the cross, His family, who didn't recognize Him, who made a mistake, who through fear and ignorance, selfishness and pride cried, "Crucify! Crucify." I die a little just saying these words, but when I hurt others, when I judge, persecute, condemn, refuse forgiveness, love, I fail to recognize my Savior, and in my actions with the crowd I cry, "Crucify!" For I know not what I do. Surely if I knew it was Christ my Savior, I would savor every moment in His presence, but sin and society have made us blind to Him. We must begin to strengthen our lids to open, to strengthen our souls to see, to be above appearance, possession, religion, and skin, to see Christ within who loves us. He loves us all. Call back to Him in the quiet. Open your soul to His love. Don't be afraid, just try it. It's better than any love, because He loves us. He loves us all. He loves me. He loves you. He loves the person I struggle with. He loves the person I forget. He loves the person who's mean to me. He loves the people I'll never see. He loves us. He loves us all. So fall like him, not in sin, but in love. So love somebody today. Love somebody deeply, truly, fully, and experience God. See you next week.